Hello, everyone. I'm just going to start talking because I don't. Hello, everyone. How are you? Hello, everyone. How are you? I am starting talking because I'm hoping that everything is working and it looks like it is. So, you'd be like, Grace, why are you streaming again? Well, you see, I have had a weekend. I went ahead and actually didn't record the Lepacy, and it is kind of complicated. It's not complicated why. Basically, I kind of became obsessed with oh, actually, I forgot to change our end time. I am so sorry. I don't know when we're ending, and that is a me problem. So, I decided to basically have a friend over on Friday night, right? Which was a lot of fun. I had a blast. And we were talking about like TV shows, and they've been watching Daredevil, which is a lot of fun for them. But then I started thinking about like TV shows that I was into, and basically I got reminded of Invincible, which is like a TV show that I was watching in 2020, right? And basically I think I loved this TV show. Like, it was really cool. And when I found out that basically there was no more of it, it was only like one season out, I was in such distress, right? And so basically, I kind of decided to like pull it up and watch it totally legally. I don't support Amazon. I don't think that's anyone's surprise, but I decided to go ahead and like watch it in a total legal way. And it was a lot of fun rewatching Invincible. I realized some things about myself that I should not be watching extremely gory things, and I stayed up like for over 24 hours just watching the whole series, and it was a lot of fun. And I also definitely should not do that. But I had a lot of fun, and basically I was like, okay, well, I'm like extremely exhausted. I don't have the energy to record. I'm not going to be like a good entertaining person if I play the Lepacy. And like that is a valid point. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna record the Lepacy. Instead, what I decided was, okay, I'm gonna record on Sunday. Now, the thing with Sunday is that I was kind of like starting out my birthday celebrations, which was a lot of fun. With my birthday celebrations, I went to Washington, D.C., and there will be like a whole video about that. And so I was like kind of tired, but I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to record. I'm just going to go home. I am going to rest and like take an hour nap, and then I'm going to record at night. Then my parents, they've been on a cruise, and they actually got back on an early flight, which was surprising to me. So they said, hey, Grace, like, do you want to come to our house and basically like have dinner? And I said, oh yeah, because they always phrase in this way of like, if you missed us, you'll have dinner with us. So it's like, okay, yeah, we can have dinner. So I went to their house, I had dinner. It was a lot of fun. However, I had just been to Washington, D.C., and I also drove me and my parents because, like, they were just on a gigantic cruise that I imagine must have been completely and utterly exhausting. So I was like, oh, you know what? No worries. Like, I can drive. So I drove us, and it was a lot of fun. I definitely had a blast. It's kind of like my birthday celebration dinner. And the only thing is that, like, obviously I was tired. So I kind of just, like, came home and immediately fell to sleep. Which is, like, completely fair and valid, may I just say. So I wasn't able to like do my recording. However, I realized, thankfully, because of with Friday night going ahead and doing a stream, oh, I can still like put out a video if I just do a stream instead. So that it may be my go-to now of when I don't necessarily have a video, I can still record, which I think is I can still record. Well, I can still produce something, which I think is important because like I really do enjoy doing YouTube, and because of all the other things going on in my life, it can be difficult at times. So coming up with like innovative ways to still like do what I enjoy is very important. But right now in City Skylines, I'm just expanding our road a little bit because it is important. So now that we've gotten down to here, we want just 200, and when we try to do the connection, it doesn't necessarily work. So I'm going to delete some of our road, go out this way. We can't get it at that perfect angle, it doesn't look like. Like, it's going to have a little bit of weirdness to it. Then what if we do something kind of like this? We put like some infrastructure along this road. What about that as an idea? So obviously we have our districts, which has been working out well. So we have like basically two. Oh, I started going on autopilot and I forgot that I was supposed to do a 300. Shoot, I could maybe that'll actually fix our road problems. Let's see. Do 300 like that. And do our 300 and it will be just perfect, which is awesome. So my thing is, then we're kind of like right next to the rail. So I'm thinking that's kind of where I want our residential to end. But obviously this is a very narrow residential. So I'm thinking we can like expand our residential out in this area. I think that will be very helpful. So I am a little worried about the districting and stuff, because I know that this can be like kind of intense for us. So like this Strawberry Square is very small right now. That doesn't exactly work as like a great district. So I'm kind of trying to think about like our expansion in terms of that, which I think is crucial. We also obviously have to do our industry. So yeah, I am just gonna get the residential that we have zoned in now, because that will be very helpful. And we definitely need more residential, since we literally have like the little button of, hey, give us customers, please. And I would like businesses to stay with us. I think that's kind of clear. Though we have gone down pretty far to being near our noise. But it kind of is a little bit covered. So I'm okay with that. I'm going to turn on live mode and get us started there. If we go up, it will tell you that our business is not enough customers. So we are trying to fix that with our residential there. So yeah. And then I also see that we have the industrial that we need to kind of fix up or expand upon. So we already have expanded our industrial to, I believe, our 2 lanes with wide sidewalks. So I'm just going to kind of keep going with that. Oh my gosh, the music is like so inspirational. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. My goodness. And I hope that this will be extremely helpful with our, oh my gosh, I don't know why I'm forgetting words. I'm hoping this will be extremely helpful with increasing all of our needs. So we obviously have this kind of like curve in, and I'm thinking that we should respect that. I want to see the topography, right? So I'm thinking we go into like the curve road here, and we just kind of like follow this natural curve, right? And I'm happy to kind of like keep expanding to our outskirts, right? Because I know that I want to like, I have forestering industry in here, so I want to use that to the best of our advantage. So now with my curve roads, I always go in and kind of like delete it, at least where I have the junctions, to make it smoother, because I like having like smooth roads. So I think that that looks good. And then we obviously have to go back to our regular type of straight road, and we can connect it like that. And I think that will be really good for our industrial district to keep expanding it, keep working on it. And I'm just going to keep following the grid because that is the most effective thing to me. So we are starting to run out of money with all of our recent expansions. So I'm just going to go ahead, fix up our roads here, and then we are going to mark it as industrial. We can also go ahead and mark these areas as industrial, just to keep the growth going. And we have some flooding. Okay. That is a fair point. I'm thinking we go with our curve to go up and go kind of like that. So we obviously have to delete those roads because we need to go up. And it says we can't build on water. So that makes me think maybe we need to do some of stuff here to make it just a little bit better. And then we need to smooth out this connection point. Perfect. So hopefully that will stop our flooding, because flooding is just not a good time for us. I want to make sure this is a 90-degree angle again. 180, perfect. So then we can go back in and zone all this. And one of the reasons I stopped that I completely forgot about is that we need to do our water system. I'm very good at forgetting that, may I just say. So I'm going to do the two expansion and take it down. And another thing to point out is that because we're at the end, we can possibly start building our infrastructure like this. And now we're running out of money. So we're just going to let our city expand a little bit while we work on that, which I think is exciting. I want to watch these buildings to like make sure that they aren't super mad about the noise, since we saw that that's kind of there. And I do want to check our pollution. So our pollution appears to be doing kind of okay. Our drinking water is fine, which is a top priority, since if you know, I was poisoning people last time. I just forgot to check out the water flow, and that is entirely my fault. So we have this lovely bridging, which is very good for our like traffic in this area, which is great. Here also looks really good, so I'm very happy about everything that's going on. And I noticed that nothing is built right here, even though it is zoned. So I guess there's just not that commercial demand that we kind of like would be expecting. So yeah. Are you guys complaining about the noise? The garbage has piled up. Okay. Well, that's interesting because we have so many garbage piles. So I think that comes to our budget. Our garbage, we possibly need to expand. I'm going to go up to 120. And I think that will be sufficient. I also want to raise our education budget because that was extremely low, which is kind of concerning. So does that fix your garbage problems wherever you were? Oh, it could also One thing to be considering is that the garbage has a lot of way to travel, right? This is almost like kind of our farthest house. But I don't exactly know why. That is kind of interesting to me. And it is only one person. So I'm not exactly sure if we want to like keep following that kind of logic. I'm going to keep it up a little bit higher and see if that helps fix it. And if not, that's okay. And I saw the greenness and I was like, that's 6 citizens. No, it's not enough customers getting into the crucial area. So at that point, we do need to be working on this residential. Okay, so I'm gonna go into the topography. Here it is very flat. So I think I am just going to expand with our grid. I'm going to continue with dirt roads because that is just kind of helpful for me. So I like how we have this grid here. We have like the different sections and everything. So I'm just going to expand that. And I think that that will be our solution. So it's dirt roads, so 200 is the right amount, sorry. And we're just gonna keep expanding. I can't expand so much that I can't see the 90-degree angle anymore. That is important though. So yeah. I think our city is coming along pretty well. I'm sorry for not having the Keatons today. I really wanted to do the Lepacy. I just became so exhausted. And with things that like I always worry about, especially when I'm editing videos, like streams, I just have to keep talking, right? And hopefully it will be entertaining. We'll see, right? However, when it's like a video that I'm editing, I always want to be like the most entertaining, the most special, and that can kind of like really weigh me down and get me in my head about like my own content, which is like absolutely fair. And I always like worry with some of my like with the Let's Play videos that's just not going to be like interesting enough, which I think is like a fair worry. And also like it's kind of my job to make it interesting. So we are now into a little bit of debt, and we also have the sewage is backing up. So my thing with the sewage then is we're gonna go here, and the second we can afford a drain pipe, we are going to plug it in. So it's gonna be in just a little bit, putting on fast speed, getting everything working, because it is very important for our citizens not to have like backups because they don't appreciate that. All right, so we have the money. We are going to hopefully connect it. I can check, is it connected? Yes. So that is good news. And hopefully that will help with our sewage backing up. Yes, it looks like it did. Or everyone left. Either two solutions, right? So next thing that I need to think about before I start putting this as a residential zone is that we need to get our water pipes in. So I'm just going to expand down and wait until we have enough money to put it in, because I'm just going to do all of it at one time, I'm pretty sure. So yeah. And I'm not going to connect it since I know that it's kind of just going to be, it's going to be expanded, right? So our most important thing is expanding our residential. The next thing we have to think about is when we do 200 here, it's not like a super neat connection there, but I'm thinking we can kind of create this like dynamic street. I'm kind of okay with that. I think that's a kind of cool setup. And then we just go along with our construction. So before we do more there of like the next neighborhood, I would like to expand this down just to get like our next row completed, you know? I think that is important, keeping our rows, our I guess our ducks all in a row is kind of what I'm trying to say there, right? And we'll kind of create some like interesting things here. It'd be cool to have parks and everything. I think that's like super crucial. But this not industrial, but this commercial, again, not commercial. This residential is what I'm trying to say is super important for us right now. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Give me a sec. Now, my thing necessarily can be like, what do we want to do here? Because we have this kind of like tiny road, which can be kind of hard to deal with, right? So that kind of creates some like concern or worry for me. However, I'm thinking we can just keep going a little bit with our absurdity, and that might just help us, right? I'm not exactly sure what I'm envisioning. Like, we could just do like trees along here to have like a little bit of a separation. I'm also thinking it could be helpful to like have a bridge, or we also have the rail line, which would be nice to like carry over in a way or another. I haven't done rail line before, so I am a little concerned about it, but I'm thinking I should be able to manage it. And then one thing that I'm noticing is that I'm not sure if we've done the districting in here, but we do anyways need to pull this out. I'm just gonna not pull it all the way to the bottom, just a little bit. And since we did do that, we can district it. So yeah, but I think that looks pretty good. We have some abandonment, probably because we didn't have enough customers, but we hopefully did just fix that. Where was our abandoned building? We see it here and here. Perfect. So all of our residential is not at all helping with your customerness. Crazy. So then that makes me think more about districts. So obviously Strawberry Square needs to be expanded a little bit. Same with, I think, Sunset Heights and possibly Cozy Square. Anchor District, I really think is like big enough. So I'm thinking that in here, we're going to just like kind of create them varying and have them not be like super ending evenly at the same place, which can be frustrating. I know that that can be like annoying to me, but I think that might be the best way for us to start with it. And before I do more industrial or commercial, I want to go ahead and like expand our education, because like our elementary says it's only there, which is not good. Our high school, we have none. University, none. Public library, none. So it's kind of just like, hey, I want to get it set up and get these like neighborhoods, these districts that we have planned out well, right? So expanding our healthcare, expanding our deaf care, our child care, our elder care, getting everything kind of set up the way that we need it to. Now, I do want to look at our traffic. Our traffic flow is pretty good. This could be fixed here somehow, because that's like the worst area, but everything does look pretty good. I want to see our, here is also kind of tight, so that is worrying to me. So we can always like One thing that I was thinking about in cities is sometimes when like roads are expanded a little bit, it can kind of get very like confusing. Especially when driving, because you're just like, oh, is this lane actually like helpful? Is this lane going to be important? And you're never really like sure. Um, as I told you, like I was in Washington, and I do have like one rule is that I do not drive in Washington, right? It's too much for me. So I see our um demand for industrial going up, which is slightly concerning to me, but I am going to head and keep with that expansion. I'm just saying I'm concerned about it because I wanted to try to save money for our services. However, sometimes you just can't have it the way you want. And that's what happens, right? Can't have everything perfect. So I'm going to expand our industrial here, and we actually are covered by the road. So maybe we'll do a little bit of more expanding when it comes to that, right? Because we do want people to be able to get jobs to keep that growth in our city. Another thing that I do want to say is I'm not exactly sure when I will have to end this live stream. I always kind of want to go into like at least 6:30 because of like that would be when our regular Lepacy video would have been released, at least in Eastern time. I'm pretty sure I make it very clear to everyone that I'm Eastern time. So yeah, but I think that can be very crucial. But it also depends on like how many people are viewing and everything. I know that we don't have like a lot of viewers right now, which is fine. I don't really mind. I kind of just like enjoy talking and playing City Skylines because I am enjoying it so much. Okay, they keep saying that we need more customers, but it says that our residential need is down. And that's why I'm trying to like save up the money, and I don't want to take out another loan because we already have like so much loans, right? Like I just want to be able to kind of like keep up with our expansion, which so I'm going to put us in fast speed just so that means I can save us up a little bit of money. I see our industrial is not growing to where I put it, which is interesting to me. So maybe we didn't necessarily need it. It is something that I'm not exactly sure about. We're always working with all of the interchangeability. So now the thing that I am probably most worried about is our education, right? So I know that we need education in this district and this district. That I'm kind of just gonna go down in order. So our elementary school, I'm gonna turn on our district. I don't necessarily want it next to like our elder care and our cemetery. So we have two elder care very close to each other, which is interesting to me. So my thing is it might. Another thing that I'm noticing is our elder care, we have two in the same district, which is not what I want. So I would like to move this to be like in a different district. For example, like here. I think that would be better. Then we can turn back on our districts, go to our education, and get the schoolhouse. I think like here could be good because I'll have a little bit of separation, but I'll also kind of like be close to the medical clinic. And then we obviously would like to get our small playground in also there, because it just creates some of that like enjoyment for the kids. I don't even see like a playground on specifically these schools, of these elementary schools. So it's nice giving that to the kids. then our need for in commercial, or I mean personally, I can't say words. Our need for residential has gone up ginormously. Oh, I realized I'm in not in live chat. I'm so sorry. I was in top chat. So I just fixed that. So we need to keep expanding our residential, which now we're having water problems, which is going to take much more priority. So with the water, I'm going to do another pump on this road that we have, and hopefully that should ease it. Yes, it is. Okay, perfect. Because if we don't have it at ease, then we will have the problems of just not having enough water. I am hoping that we can unlock some like crucial services during this playing. I would certainly hope so, because that will be extremely helpful to all of us here. And just to hopefully have to like put down less things and everything. So top priority would be our water line, putting that down. So we're just gonna expand it, and then we're going to do our commercial. Not our commercial. Why am I so dead set on calling it that? I really don't know. I'm just really struggling to talk apparently. So that will help with that need. And I see that it says that you guys don't have enough electricity. So it says that you're being covered. However, it says that we do possibly need more. And you guys also say you don't have enough electricity. Okay. So here, you guys are doing well with electricity, which is good. So what am I thinking when it comes to that? We can, of course, do the infrastructure to connect this to here and see if that helps. Which it seems to help a little bit. Now we say not enough workers. Well, honey, we're trying to take care of your electricity problem. And then it also says not enough electricity here, which is very detrimental. So my thing is that I would like to get this advanced turbine and be able to have that power it once we have the money. So I'm going to just put us on fast speed, let our money collect, and then hopefully be able to work on all that. Hydrate or dihydrate, right? So we are still not able to afford it, but we are working on it. We are getting there. And we are just 2,000 away. Okay, perfect. It looks like we're actually going to be unlocking our next city achievement soon. So this definitely is helping with our electricity, which is super, super important. And I want to go into our districts and kind of keep expanding, because we know some of them just need to be a little bit bigger. And I'm trying to think. Cozy Square is another one that I think can be just one block bigger, right? And then we can come in with the next neighborhoods, right? I'm going to I'm sorry. And again, we need to go into our expansion mode for our residential. It's always kind of frustrating to me because I'm just like trying to save up and there's like, no, you need to spend it immediately. It's like, how come? Like, don't we need to be able to save our money a little bit? I'm actually deciding to put down the water first so we can hopefully go ahead and kind of just district immediately, right? One thing I'm interested about our districts is that Holly Park actually needs to be rezoned a little bit because this area here would have it have like two different areas for like its needed, what would one call it, needed infrastructure, needed like amenities, right? So we'll have to figure out something here, but that should be no problem. I'm going to keep expanding our road down and hopefully keep everything doing it. Hi, Julius Washington. Nice to see you checking in. We are working on City Skylines. Oh, and I want to thank you for your comment on the InZoe video. I remember seeing your name there, and it was super cool knowing that you subscribed because of that. I was thinking of possibly doing InZoe for this stream. Again, I'm just streaming because I've been having like difficulties with recording. Life has just been so hectic. So I decided to go ahead and make sure that I still got a video out. However, just doing it like a little differently and being able to record and post at the same time, which is kind of what live streaming is, which is crazy to me. I'm always worried I'm going to mess up. But I try to have good energy and just keep talking, right? That's my goal. It's nice to see you here though. So our city is actually Varus. We're at a population of like 4,000 or so. And I already am just trying to keep up with the needs. I keep trying to save money so we can like have all the necessities and all the amenities that our citizens need. But they keep yelling at me that they need more customers or the like. And now we're having electricity issues. So I want to see why. So we might just need to, we've been doing a lot with our we've been doing less with our power plant and doing more with our standard like what one would call natural power, which I think is cool, but I think maybe not the best investment for now. So I'm going to wait a little bit and be able to get us another coal power plant just to put down next to the other one, because that should fix a lot of our power problems, because our consumption is more than our production right now. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that your girlfriend and you were watching, that you're enjoying this, Julius. I don't know, I'm trying to be, I'm always stressing that I'm not enough, or that like it's not interesting. I'll tell you that like with the Lepacy, I always want to make sure that like that there's some type of drama going on. But it also can be really difficult to like manufacture drama every single episode. Sometimes you just like need a beach episode, as like if you know anime, like a beach episode with the character development and just getting to relax is like super important. Because if you don't have that, then like everything is just go 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 and no one gets to grow or develop. And it's also with like The Sims, it's always like my storytelling that is very like crucial to keep going and keep the development on. And we are losing citizens. Oh no, it is most likely because of our power. I'm going to get our power down and then I'm going to see why. So we are again losing citizens because of the power. However, that power plant should have just fixed it, hopefully. Let's look at our consumption. It is barely higher. Okay. So then my next thing would be to go to our budget and just crank up our budget for our electricity, which should hopefully help there because we want to keep citizens moving in. So, and the problem is I did the connection here, but not here. Because this doesn't have, this is entirely, looks like it is entirely going to be hosted by these power plants. So I need to see if I can take our electricity across the road. It looks like we can. So that should help that out. And that means we probably can go ahead and turn down our budget there. Oh my gosh, I'm glad that you support me because I'm down to earth. I try to be like chill and everything, but it can be difficult. And we're having flooding. Of course. I try to like just be myself, which I think is probably like one of the scariest things that there is, of just like being authentic. I know that City Skylines came out in 2015. I always got interested in it because of City Planner Plays. And I always thought that, like, because I was getting into sim building of, like, in The Sims 3, how you can go ahead and use Create a World to kind of, like, create custom Sims worlds. And so I was like, oh, I need to understand, like, all the technicalities of that, right? So I was, like, watching his videos, and it was always super cool. So I was like, oh, I want this. Like, eventually I want this game. And since they had the Steam sale in like March, I decided to go ahead and do that. So I did affect this kind of area because it said that we were having flooding. So I just decreased some of our stuff here, some of like the buildings that we had here. However, we may have landscaping. I believe we have landscaping. So I'm going to click level terrain. And I'm going to refund what I just did because I did not mean to do that. That was bad. Oh, we are having, even if I make the terrain higher, we are having like bad flooding. Because I'm just trying to like take this out a little bit and make it higher to avoid some of the flooding that we're having. I haven't played in a world where flooding was like necessarily an issue yet. So this is kind of different for me, I will say. So I'm hoping that we can maybe get that little hole up, but it looks like not. I just don't want our people to drown, you know? It's like scary. But it's really nice being able to like play all the life simulation games and everything, because I mainly like stuck to The Sims because that's what I got interested in. But being able to explore the other, it's life simulation with City Skylines and with Inzoe coming out is really exciting. You know, I know that you watched my Inzoe video, so I won't repeat everything I said, that I am definitely looking forward to Paralives coming out. I'm hoping that that will be more my speed than Inzoe. However, I know that like all the creators of these games are doing their best, and they absolutely have my praise because I cannot create what they can create. I tried to code a family tree a little bit, but I did not create like the UI, the user interface whatsoever yet. And I haven't worked on it at all because I'm just like, how do I do the coding and everything? There's just so many different steps. I think I have a tendency to always like think about all the options that I have. I see that you brought up Frostpunk 2. I haven't heard of Frostpunk 2. What is that about? Like I hear Frost and I hear Punk, so I have some ideas. Oh, and we just unlocked Busy Town, which is super cool. And now we have our lanes with roads, which is amazing. Along with our fire station, hospital, and police headquarters, which just means we have like the bigger things. We have the ferry and bus exchange, which we definitely need to be getting our public transportation in. None of that is super crucial right now. So I'm just going to keep expanding our residential, since I know if we don't, our commercial is going to start yelling at me that we don't have enough customers. It's very fun trying to keep up. Oh, and because of that increase, we actually got a boost to our money. So I'm going to go in and get all of this residential I was planning in. And then it will be time to look at our services, our amenities that we want to give our citizens. So we have all this in. Perfect. Now it is amenities time. It's something that like I'm always thinking about. So the next district that we technically need elementary school in is going to be over here. So we have the police station, and we already have a small playground next to the police station. How much do I want to bet that I thought that was a school and I messed up? So rather than moving the police station, let's see if I can fit the elementary school in there. Doesn't look like we can, so I guess I am gonna move the police station, which everyone's going to be fine about, even though it has all the arrows and everything. And we're gonna move the park. See, now we're just trying to like get everything working the way that I want. Great. Perfect. So we're gonna have it like that. And let's go back to our district there, not our topography, our districting. That is perfectly fine. I'm actually kind of interested if we can combine our, what we call our police station and our medical station together. Because I do like kind of having that infrastructure that way. So that's awesome. Now, that also reminds me, we have our health good here. We have our firefighting here too. And we have our crime there good. So we're kind of doing great. We need the crime in our Crescent district. If I remember, YouTube it to see if you're speed building and never say yes. I know with I hate that I'm not always keeping a track of the chat all the time. I always like forget. I just always talk in my head. But I do have the City of Tutoria. That's basically just following City Planner Plays Tutoria. His tutorials on how to build Tutoria. That is on, and I have like my personal computer, then like a school computer that was funded by like a 529 plan. So I have it on there. Obviously not the best student if I'm having City Planner Plays on my school computer. But I have that there, which I'm not really like, I'm just trying to learn the basics. Like here you can see that we have some districts of like the farming and the what I'm going to call forest, which I believe is the correct one. So it's all just trying to like learn the game. This I'm using with like the knowledge of the game that I have, which is kind of exciting. I just enjoy building the city, you know? My cities are obviously not perfect. There's a lot of just trying to build and get like the infrastructure up. But I think that that can kind of be like a way to do it of rather than trying to do pretty, trying to do like effective, right? Trying to like be like, okay, this is how you start the game, right? For example, if my head is correct, which it may not be, this is a map. I forget which map it is, but I'm really forgetting what map it is. I'm so sorry. But we have the map there that we're building on. I haven't built on it before. Like, if you watch the live stream that I did before, I was polluting my citizens because I didn't remember to check the water flow. Because I was like, oh, every single place has the same water flow. Not the case. Right? I think part of like the fun of this City Skylines at least is that I'm able to like build it with you guys and interact with the chat. Like if you have any recommendations for like the names of places and stuff, I would absolutely love that. I know like the naming in City Skylines is just super cool. Okay, seems like all our needs are good. So we're gonna keep with our education. Our first 3 districts are covered with education. So I'm gonna go down this way. So Cooper Park is the next one that we need to get our education in, right? So we have our elder. So I'm actually gonna try to put this a little bit away from our elder, and then of course get our small park in. I saw City Planner Plays doing that, and I just love that like connection of that like realism, right? So again, we could put in another elementary school, which is a great thing. So the next one we have is Anchor District. I try to like vary up the rows that I have it in because I think that's like important. But I'm not always the best at doing that, right? So yeah. That is all we can afford with our amenities for now, and a building is underwater. Okay, we are having really bad flooding here. So I don't know how to do this yet. Shoot. Okay. So I think the best way to do it is to kind of delete this, because I'm seeing that it's just doing like a lot, right? And the next thing I'm going to do is our landscaping. So we need to close it up, right? That is very crucial so we have less flooding. Because we definitely don't want flooding. And I see that we probably have a pillar there, which is affecting our ability to do our terrain. So I'm going to boost our terrain. We still have soil availability, which is great. Why is it going up so high? Am I clicking wrong? This is shift terrain, so I've been clicking wrong. That is my fault. Okay, it's going to refund me now to fix everything I've been doing. Perfect. Because I think having it like this will definitely help us a lot out. Doing the soil availability. Because we don't want more like flooding. Like that is absolutely terrifying. But I think another solution is to go ahead and have our city, or at least our residential, start a bit back rather than immediately on the water line, right? So how do we want to do this? I think we need to delete these bridges and be able to get it kind of like so. So my thing is I don't necessarily want to connect to this road because I know that's going to create a lot of problems. But my thing is also if we could like create more bridges instead of having like 3 next to each other. Or another thing we could do is upgrade our road. So we want to keep the road the way it is, but make it like a 4-lane, ideally with trees. I would love trees. I just think trees are so great. We can add the trees and we can do a 2-lane. Okay, it looks like we can't have, if we go to larger roads, then we can have the 4-lane with decorative trees. So I think it's having the problem with water. I think that we need to do that. And then we also need to de-zone these areas. So let's see how this is going. And then we need to immediately fix up our electricity. And hopefully that will help. So it looks like we kind of solved the flooding. My next thing is that we need to expand some of our roads. How are you underwater? How? I don't see any water. Okay? I don't see Ward Street underwater. I think actually point then. We're gonna delete the bridge. And I see that that is probably our struggle. So we're going to landscape that cost up, right? And I'm gonna go ahead and with our road, do ideally a 4-lane, right? Want it in the middle there. And I want to, we can do page up and page down is how I know it works. So I'm going to one page doesn't feel like enough to me. So I'm going to page up. And I can't keep it. I'm going to turn off grid. Keep on road guidelines. Because I want to connect to here, right? I guess turn off angle. I don't know. Page one up. Angle is super important though. I guess no road length. So again, our bridge is just not. Yeah, I don't see how. It might just be that it's like too close or something. I don't know exactly why it's flooding. So I'm trying to think of like a better bridge connection, right? So can we go to roads and see like pre-built roads? Or like, do they have like underground anything? Or we could do ships. I just do think that we do need the road. So then my thing is, let's go back. I can take some of this terrain down because I didn't need to like build it up all that way. And we can also flatten this a bit. That might help. I want it to be a smooth coastline. Oh my goodness. I don't know why. I'm just so obsessed with that. So, we need the bridge. We know that is the main thing. So we're immediately going to page up. We have that idea, which would be our deal. That's kind of like the road we had. Then I had the problem with the flooding. So we need another idea. What if we just have it like this for a second? Are you, even with that, it says that these guys are still flooding, which is absolutely crazy. So maybe we delete some of this here. I'm gonna go ahead and move the school to like the next neighborhood. And I'm just gonna give us some more space. And hopefully that space will be our saving grace, right? If we need it here, and we need to like page up, right? And then we need to go here, take the middle, and immediately page up. And now we don't have enough money. Okay. So I'm gonna have that go and hopefully get our money up. And now we have something like this. And again, we need to connect our electricity. So I'm gonna get some refunding there. I'm going to actually go to electricity, and I am going to get that up. So now the problem is we're having flooding possibly over here. No, it looks like that's okay. So the bridge is obviously not that beautiful. It is honestly very ugly. However, it is actually up, which is what matters. And that's what we want. If we don't have it, then that is a problem. And I see here it's saying we don't have enough customers. I just want to get our amenities in, and my town's just like, no, you don't get to have your amenities. It's nice to know your girlfriend's invested. Hey, I'm always happy for friends, right? I just try to be positive. It's, oh my gosh, we have another flooding. How are you guys flooded? How? You guys are up. How are you experiencing flooding? I see it. I see it. Never mind. It seems that we have this is causing a dip in the terrain, and so our bridge solution did not exactly work. Okay. So we need to come up with another solution. This just is not working. So we have to think about that. I am going to take deep breaths. I'm going to, take in and regulate. I guess it looks like the issue, it's not really an issue, it's nature doing its thing, is that the waterway is expanding, right? Which is good. We want waterways to expand. The problem is that it is flooding our place. It is flooding our town. So my thing is, can we shift the terrain to get this up and get the flooding out? That's what I'm hoping for. Right? Just get the flooding out. Make sure everything is good there, right? Because it started flooding because the area's there. So this should hopefully go down now. Oh no, it's flooding more. How? Just how? Where are you getting this water from? I try to fix it, and you're just like, nope. I think then the solution is we kind of have to delete these areas to be able to fix the terrain, because otherwise we're just going to have more and more flooding, right? So I'm gonna have I think the other solution may just be cutting back from the water line, of just being farther away from it. So I'm kind of going back to what I see here of this infrastructure, because we can also just expand our park more, which I am happily okay with, right? I don't, and immediately we have to dezone, because if we don't dezone this, then things are going to start being built there, and we have the problems with the flooding. We can't handle that. All right. So I just don't know what's going on with the water here. It's so strange to me. I guess we just it has to get out of its system or something. Here, it looks like everything is doing well, which is super important. Very glad about that. We have a Butler residence that needs to be deleted. Yeah, the water just keeps pooling in this area. I'm very glad that I designated that for a park then. I'm thinking the solution then might be to, oh god. The water is creeping. So then we have to go to terrain. I'm gonna do shift, and I'm just gonna try to raise it up, because we can't have more flooding. I know we're losing citizens. It's been because of the flooding. And it says we're having flooding here too. I'm gonna hope it goes away on its own. We're going to go ahead and expand our, if I can remember the words, I never say it right, may I just say. I always want to call our residential something else, but I got it right. I tried so hard. So, let's expand. And we can actually turn on all these road guidelines and grid again. That would be super helpful for me. Just, I'm hoping that the flooding is done now. I'm hoping that everything's dealt with, but I am exhausted from that. Honestly, that was a lot. Why did it have to flood? Who knows? It is cool that in City Skylines, it does show the water, like, levels changing and everything. Because, like, that is exactly something that happens in the real world, right? We have the water levels rising. I remember, like, going on, it's erosion. Oh my goodness, I remember science concept. Let's go. There's, like, the erosion, which it's complicated because erosion is natural. Erosion can be natural, right? It can also, like, not be. So I think that, like, our planning there is very much not natural, but it's trying to be like, hey, water, stop eroding. I remember, like, erosion just being taught as, like, it's a bad thing. I think partly is, like, because of the, humanity causing more erosion to happen, right? Of how we kind of, like, sped up erosion. But, like, overall, erosion is just a natural thing that sometimes happens. But it is very bad when buildings start flooding because of said erosion. Right? So we have some garbage piling up, which is not great. I want to look at our city, and I'm going to go ahead and de-zone this, since we can have another landfill, which will hopefully help with our garbage, right? We also need to get post offices in soon. That's another thing to think about. I am just going to try to keep expanding our residential. That is our biggest need, and we obviously do want people moving in. That's kind of what our city is all. Oh, we have a fire. Shit. Okay. We have a fire. I see that right here. We have a fire. The good news is that is literally right next to our area where we want to have infrastructure. We can't afford a fire station. Okay. How much does the fire station cost? 12,000. Okay. Well, we're gonna get that money in like a couple seconds. Did the fire actually go out? Firefighters were able to come. Excellent. Perfect. Oh, wow. Okay, that's crazy. They actually took, oh my gosh. I'm gonna go to our zoning and just like de-zone these areas just because this water is, I think moving back was the smartest thing we can do. I think that it's just going to like keep going. And like now we have a little lake here, apparently. I might try to actually like do that. Create more of a lake. So, very glad there are no residential there for right now. Goodness. It is crazy. Sorry, I'm trying to expand things a little bit. Oh, it's not working. That's all right. Okay. So, that means that kind of takes me back to our districts. Of Smith Height is now much smaller than it once was. So we should probably expand out this way. Do we still have our school? We do have our elementary school, which is good. Oh goodness. And now we need more industrial. Okay. We are on it. Yes, this truly makes you think about like how other cities were made, because like the construction is insane, right? I live in a very like a suburban area, so going to like an actual place that is like an actual city is always like kind of crazy, you know? I went to DC recently, right? And by recently I mean yesterday. And with DC, it's just so cool because of like the public transportation and everything. Like I love in city skylines when I'm able to put in the public transportation. Right now, apparently, we're just struggling to take care of very simple things. I don't know why it's such a struggle. But it definitely is like a blast being able to see like the incredibleness of certain cities, right? I'm keeping expanding our industrial to just take it out and go into what is our forestry district too. And that is a great reminder that we need to do the water in these areas. Because if we don't, then that will be a problem. So let's put us back in live. And already our electricity is being built back up again. So yeah. Yeah, and New York is kind of like also, if I am recalling correctly, kind of like near the water too. So it's just like incredible how the different oh sorry. It's incredible thinking about like how all this is managed. I actually was in college for like a semester or two about architecture, and there's just like so many things to consider, right? So Sarah Growers piled up, putting in that extra landfill did not help, so I am going to increase our budget for our trash, right? It is another thing of I am hoping to have more industrial and commercial down here because of the rail line. So that may also be an expansion that we might want to start looking into. And the places that were complaining about not having enough customers, of course, are now abandoned. We'll just get rid of them so it won't be a concern. Yeah. Everything. Oh, okay. This is some really bad traffic. Okay. Then we need to upgrade. So I'm going to go to a large road. I'm going to go here. And we can't exactly upgrade because of everything. So one lane, even without trees, the biggest we can get is a 4-lane. Would that help by any slight chance? Because I do like the roadway we have going on. So it's one of those things of just trying to make it the best we can. So let me actually see the cars. What lanes are you in? The cars are trying to go on the bridge, I think. Right? So I think that our upgrade then needs to be upgrading some of these roads here. So we need to make them bigger. I'm going to go to medium and have our trees. And we can't upgrade. Could we upgrade to 4-lane like this? And see if that helps. Right? I'm going to expand it throughout the perimeter just because I think that is helpful. And take it also into the industrial. Because with the industrial, that's where we're starting to see like that severe backup. So we'll see if that helps it out. And now we're having the cannot build over water difficulty. So maybe just deleting that. Okay, because again, more erosion. Okay. That means I'm gonna delete that too a little bit. And yeah. Yeah, this waterway is getting much wider. So it is a, so I think that we do need to start doing some of the commercial down here. Not the commercial, the industrial, right? So we're gonna go to regular road. We're gonna go to our dirt road. Excuse me. We know we can kind of like go through like that, which is fun. So I'm going to do our 200 that we have. And I'm gonna try to keep it at the 90. Right? And I am going to go ahead and do our, oh, sorry. Let's actually do our save, since I did click the button. Why not? But then we are going to go ahead and put some commercial in this area. One thing that I do normally try to do, at least in Tutoria, is that I remember to have kind of interesting and have like some commercial throughout, especially in our residential, but apparently I just completely forgot that here. So now I'm going to do, now I'm thinking I'm going to do 300, and I'm thinking 300 is actually not good. I'm thinking we should do 200, right? I'm thinking that would probably be the best. So I'm assuming that's the 200. Actually, we can just get the full refund and double check. Right? Because I think that will help us be the most successful. And one of the first things that we should 100% do is get a landfill down. So I'm actually going to get 3 down here. And I believe I just muted accidentally. And hopefully that will help us out. Because that will also help us lower the garbage piling up that we have our taxes or our budget raised so high. Because that is definitely not what we want. And I'm again just going to expand these roads, or not the roads, the water line, because that is our super important thing. Yeah. Oh, all right. Thank you so much for watching, Julius. I hope you have a good time. And I will, hey, I'm here to try to keep making content. I appreciate all of your support. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye, Julius. Don't worry though, anyone else, I'm still here. I'm hoping to keep streaming for a bit. How long? It's only been an hour, so I should be able to keep going, right? That's what I'm hoping anyways. This is absolutely crazy to me. All of this, like, flooding. Oh, I'm going to sneeze eventually, so I'm going to mute for that. I don't want you to hear my nose germs. I feel like that's a little improper. So I want to check here is there any flooding going on? No, it appears to be good, which is actually very good news. It is very worrying about the flooding. I do think that I have like forgotten to mention is, sorry, I'm going to check my stream stuff. I'm so sorry. But another thing is that I have 3 glasses of water next to me. So I'm currently still on the first. So I am hoping to keep going until I run out of water. Like, I don't even feel dehydrated yet, you know? And we need so much more residential. Okay. Cool. Are we having flooding here, though? Doesn't look like it. Okay, that's good. Let's keep building out our residential. I'm honestly thinking that it's just doing the grid at this point and not worrying about the amenities, because we just don't we don't have the money to be concerned about that, honestly, right? Which sucks because we want to be able to make sure our citizens have the things that they need, but it's just like when we're having such a hard time taking care of some of our needs, we need to prioritize things, you know? So that is at least what I'm trying to do, right? Because if we don't prioritize, then we get in a lot of trouble with our city. So yeah, I do enjoy the flatness of this area. Like, that is very nice for our grid and everything. It is very kind of like relaxing just being able to plop it down, you know? So yeah. And we don't have electricity, of course. Let me resume my game. Sorry. I forgot to do our connection here, so we can definitely do that. Very important. We don't have the connection, then, you know, what are we doing, right? So, yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm going to stop at this point since that's kind of where we had the end anyways of our residential, and since we are mainly just focusing on that in this opportunity, that is what I'm going to do. And again, let's get our water lines down. Very, very important. Because if we don't, we can't really build the next city, the next neighborhood over, right? Excuse me. And it is super crucial to be able to get that, right? If we don't, then we're going to have to keep competing with our districts and everything. All right, I put down the road wrong, so I would like to bulldoze if possible and get the lane fixed up. I like, you know, I guess I am a little bit in the perfectionist way of just liking having things, you know, organized and neat. That always kind of like makes me feel good of having just like that. But it's also like normal to have some weird blocks, right? And it can honestly be like a lot of fun to have weird blocks sometimes. I definitely recommend it. Like, trying to figure out what we're gonna do with this nonsense, I am excited for. We just, you know, need the money to be able to deal with it, right? That is the priority. So, oh, we made that a little curved, which is not exactly what we want. And once we are done with these roads, we will be able to put in the residential. So just plop it in, which is really great. I'm thinking that we're going to have like our commercial services in these areas, but it's just I want to be able to get all the essentials down first. Okay. How are y'all not flooding? Genuinely. How? It seems like there's a lot of rain, which causes the waterway to expand so much, which is terrifying, and we're having more flooding here. Don't worry, water will evaporate with time. The early flooded buildings will be abandoned, but can be rebuilt if there's a demand for the zone type. So and it is our elementary school. I don't know how, I think the rain just makes it worse and everything. I genuinely don't exactly know how to make it better, which is absolutely terrifying to me. I want to be able to make it better, but I'm thinking we move it more inland, because that should be able to help fix it. And then we don't have any zoning, so hopefully that should be fine. Just our park is really struggling, you know? I don't know why the flooding is so bad, but it is truly frustrating, and we're having issues. I see not enough workers. So we did just do all this residential building, which I would hope makes everything a little bit better. But yeah. So I don't exactly know. I think that the erosion is, oh no, we're expanding to this road. Okay. Which is not at all what we want. I love seeing the little people walk. It's so cool. You know, I really think this is the chaos Miss Danny was hoping for last time. last session of this, I guess. So, yeah. We are definitely trying our best. It's not going great. You know, I should just stick to the Diamond Coast, the map that I'm used to. That's the hardest thing, I guess. Being able to adapt and change. But yeah. We actually have some money for once, so we should be able to go back to the amenities I was worried about. So, again, trying to do more with education, going to our districts. Our next one, we have Cooper Park. So then our next one, we have Anchor District, it looks like. So then it's Cozy Square. So Cozy Square, I'm going to put it down here and then hopefully put in a small park. I think that's adorable. And then I'm so worried about the flooding. But that definitely helps with that. We actually have enough money to put down something else possibly too. So we can go to Sunset Heights, and we know better than to put it close to the water, but we could put it like in this neighborhood and put down our small park there. And then we're kind of out of money. But I think that is great for our amenities. And we are having bad so this appears to kind of be fixed. It's not perfect. This we are really struggling with. So my question is this parked cars or is this traffic? Let me look. It is traffic. Okay. It's specifically cars trying to get out of the city. So making it, I think a 4-lane is kind of what we have to do, because that will hopefully make things just a little bit easier. And we're just gonna keep pulling it down and just take it all the way down, since this is kind of our collector. I accidentally did a dirt road. Oh no. And it's telling me I cannot take it back. Well, I'm taking it back anyway, sorry. Let's keep our upgrading with our 4-lane road. Keep it all the way down, because that should help out immensely. Right, and now let's see. Did I miss it at one point? No, it doesn't look like it. So let's see how our traffic is going. It looks like it's going better, which is good. That is definitely great. Okay, that's awesome. Oh gosh. Okay. I genuinely don't know how to limit the flooding. It's so bad. It's because of the rain. It's so horrible. It is just so horrible. Okay. Well, we're even having, like, it looks like some flooding in here. Okay. I'm hopefully going to wait for our city to stop raining so we can like evaluate and do some repairs. So that is what I'm going to be holding on for right now. I don't understand why it's so bad. It's crazy. It's it's stressful, I will say, definitely. But this is definitely, I think it's going, I say definitely so much. I think that it's going pretty well. I just want to look at our waterway to be interested in the dispersion. It looks like it's like the river seems to be growing, which is kind of cool. Oh, there's a cruise ship going by. It would be good to have cruises. But yeah, it is so bad. All this flooding is so bad. It's not ruining, but it is affecting our park, which I thought at one point. Sorry, I'm going to my upper monitor trying to adjust things. Can I turn off the edge scrolling? Because I know in the other game, I'm pretty sure I have that off. So just turn off the edge scrolling. And that fixes everything. Excellent. So again, they're talking about the crossroads, but things seem fine. Things actually look pretty good, which is kind of incredible. Like, for once, and the roads are so shiny because of everything. I'm going to save again, which I think is super crucial. And yeah, there's just so much going on. Oh my goodness. And we're having some flooding here. This is not good. It's at our elder care too. No. So I'm just going to let it be since it is kind of just the rain. And then we put on fast mode and then we see where our concerns are being built. And yeah, I will say kind of losing steam, kind of losing energy. Maybe that's a sign that I should drink water, you know? It's always weird to me because without a couple days, like a couple days away from the computer, always gets like my joints achy whenever I'm sitting down. Like it's specifically my elbow. It's specifically my left elbow is just like having a difficult time, and I don't understand why. It's so strange to me. I fully do not understand. But it's my body. And we are getting up the money, which is absolutely wonderful. Oh my goodness. And the flooding is super bad. Okay. I don't know what I want to do about that. Oh, this is scary. I don't like that it's flooding. But yeah. I think because it's getting into our houses too. And it is specifically when it rains, but like I don't know. I don't know. It is kind of terrifying to me. I just don't like that. I don't like it whatsoever. Because it's an emergency. You know, flooding is such an emergency. And so it's like, I don't want to ignore that or ignore what the people of the city need. And also, like, we need to keep going with other things. I'm just scared that everything I do, I'm scared that everything I do will be flooded, you know? I'll wash your umbrellas, it melts in the rain, fully biodegradable. I don't want a decaying, deposing, biodegradable umbrella that melts in the rain, because I kind of, well, the rain is kind of crucial to what an umbrella is. You know, if it doesn't protect you from the rain, that's a problem. And it doesn't look like we have any backups getting into our city, which is great. It's specifically getting to our residential that is an issue. Okay. The thing that I think of is that we have a way into our industrial from this. So we should also probably create a way into our industrial from our oh my goodness, the flooding is so much. What if I'm just gonna let it flood. I'm just gonna let it flood, and we'll see what happens with the flooding and if we survive, because I fully don't know. I don't have any ideas of how to protect us. Did you hear about new roads? I like new things. Oh, we need more residential. Okay. All right, time to build more residential, I guess, then. Oh my goodness. It's just trying to keep up with the needs, and then when we have the money, I'm worried about flooding and everything. It's terrifying to me. But I guess I do kind of, the challenge is kind of fun, you know? I don't exactly know how to do everything, but it's here to learn, right? Because if you don't learn, then you never get to, like, that's the thing of, like, if you don't learn, then you just never kind of get to grow. You never get to, like, expand your horizons, you know? Like, one thing is, I was talking about how I went to DC and everything. One of the things that was, like, super important to me when I was DC is just trying to, like, compliment people, you know? Because I feel like we have a tendency, like, not to give compliments and things. And I walked by this guy who was trying to sell his stuff, but he had, like, really cool, like, dice beads in his hair. I was like, oh, I like your beads. And he was like, yeah, I actually sell them as earrings. So because of that, I got dice earrings, which is so cool. I love them so much. It's so incredible. Like, the second I got on the metro, and immediately I put them on because it was just so much fun. Of course, the second I got home, I took them off because I wanted to sleep. But hey, you know, that's what happens. Right? It's just so incredible, all the different things that can happen. So we need to get our water in, which I am happy to do there. And then we have more roads to keep going with. And hopefully this will take down our residential need. And now we're a big town. So we have taxation policies, we have different districts, we have a blimp pathway, we have a fishing island incineration plant, which is super crucial. So yeah, and we have metro, which is absolutely wonderful. We haven't dealt with so many other basic things yet, but yeah. I'm trying to think about what our next step is. I will also say I'm thinking of ending at 6 p.m. Just, why was I saying so much? I don't know. I'm thinking of ending at 6 p.m. because it's just, you know, I'm getting a little tired, even though I still have plenty of water, which I'm actually kind of surprised about. Of course, I have to figure out what I want to have for dinner now. I don't have anything de-thawing or anything. So that's going to be something. But yeah, I actually do have some, like spaghetti, I guess, that I can get. Or, of course, I could just go to Washington, D.C. again. No. That's just a joke. I don't have that energy. Because, really, my legs still hurt from, like, walking in Washington the other day, you know? Oh, gosh. These are flooded. Well, we have to add another one. It says we can't build on water. You guys, they are active. Oh my goodness. The flooding is just absolutely insane to me. Hi, Inner Game, how are you? It's nice to see you again. So a lot of things have happened. Just like the biggest problem is we're flooding a lot. If you can't tell, I didn't realize that this game had erosion, because otherwise I probably wouldn't have built so close to the water line. But here we are. It's a big problem. We had to delete so much stuff because of flooding. our park is going so bad. Like, we actually have money for once, but trying to like upgrade our roads, because I know you were asking about the dirt roads last time, is being such a difficult thing because now our sewage is having problems, which it may be because our sewage pipes are underwater now, basically. But it's one of those things of, if we technically change their location, it's going to keep getting flooded. Oh my goodness, it's a conundrum, in my opinion. It's a conundrum. Like, it's the erosion is happening whether I like it or not. So I don't exactly know what to do in our game. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. I was honestly thinking of leaving, like ending the game at 6 p.m. Just ending the live stream at 6 p.m. because I'm just like, there is so much happening. But I do also want to point out that's just because of like losing energy, not necessarily because I have to. I have 3 cups of water so I can keep talking, and I have yet to be dehydrated. I'm out of my first cup now. Oh no, I should keep the cup in front. It's a Golden Girls cup, if I can turn it properly. You know, thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road back again. Okay, let us pause the game. In our game, I see your suggestion. You should move some of the sewage drains to the other side of the riverbank. You own a small part of it, and I think it should control flooding. I don't know why I'm reading your comment out to you. Probably so I fully understand it. So move it to the other side of the riverbank. So like how it's in here, instead switch it to being like here, right? And we'll connect it in a second. And we obviously also need some more drainage, right? So with our water pipes, we can delete some. Of course, we're having more flooding, but we can go here and connect all of these. And you're saying that that should hopefully help with some of the flooding? I'm counting Riverbank as like this area, but you could also mean like in here. I don't exactly know. It says garbage is piled up. Girl, because the sewage is backing up. Okay. Oh my goodness! Inner game! Technically not what you were saying, but your solution of, well, my understanding did fix it. The bottom of the map. So we have here, so moving it down to here instead of where it is, or moving it down to like this area, should be able to help it. To help some of the flooding. Yeah, the bigger river. I don't know. In my head, this is the ocean, this is the river. I don't know. But I guess I'm not looking at the whole thing. Actually, that's a good point. That is excellent. So I will take the sewage and put some more out here, and then we will run here. Yes. Okay, perfect. Awesome. I actually got it right for once. I will connect there, and we will have the riverbanks. And now we need electricity. So we can do the wind turbine, and that will fuel it, hopefully. And that will help with our pollution and everything. So yeah, oh my goodness. Thank you because I have a question in our game. As someone who actually knows this game, is part of the problem that I put our like sewage here. So because of that, the sewage is kind of like expanding along there. Because like, if so, we could probably delete this, because the sewage with the water is probably expanding how much is in the waterway, which is causing it to widen, if I'm thinking properly. So I obviously don't want to delete what I just spent money on, but I can relocate all these to down there, since you did say that would help. But also maybe putting all my eggs in one basket. I don't know. But since the flooding is just so bad, part of me is thinking, because we are increasing the amount of things in the waterway, right? So if we decrease the amount of things in the waterway, that should be able to help out a little bit. hopefully. And we're having not enough educated workers. See, the other real problem with this is that I'm so dead set on trying to make sure everything has amenities and stuff. Like, places don't have high schools. So let's go to our education. You wouldn't have the draining pipes all in one place, because that would be a problem. Okay. I might move them to be up in some other places then. That might be a smart way to do it. I'm not exactly sure. So let's grab the high school. Oh, the high school is big. The high school is bigger than I was expecting. I guess we're gonna put the high school there. The high school is so big. Oh my goodness. My roads are not accommodating this kind of big high school. That is an issue. So, okay, we don't want the water pipes all in one place, but my fear of putting them here is that it seems like the problem of why the erosion happened is because there were so many more things in the waterway. Then my thing is, should we kind of like then take these and like spread them out along here? So they're not like so like grouped and gathered, or should they all just be in separate locations in our game? What do you suggest? Like, because it is, I don't want our entire city to flood, you know? And we have not enough goods to sell, so we need to increase our everything. Okay. I will admit, I don't think this city is built well. As the person who built it, I think there are some very big issues with it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, in our game, I know that this looks really bad. I'm aware that it's really bad, but also it means that our erosion has stopped from here, which you were so right about. That is so incredible. That's actually like a big help. Oh my goodness. I guess y'all will just have to flood to death. Sorry, elder care. People can evacuate. Both should be fine for now. Okay. See, one of the problems is that I just talk so much. Sometimes I don't even know what the chat is replying to. It's so bad how much I talk. I was like, here are 10,000 thoughts all at the same time. It's not effective. Yeah, and these are not connected pipes. We'll drag these out to be connected pipes. Boom. We have a lot of water drainage. Yes, the water is slowly flowing out. Like, that is so much help in our game. That is literally insane. You completely solved my problem. And the backup is, the sewage backup is going away. This is literally insane. Oh my goodness. That was so much help. Thank you so much, Inner Game. That basically solved our problem. Oh my goodness. That is crazy. So I guess it wasn't like natural erosion. It was me being really bad at what I was doing. Please excuse me for a second. I'm just gonna like climb under my desk and just be like, why don't I know how to do things? You know? It's fine. I don't need to know how to do anything. You know? This is why we have people that are amazing like inner game in chat that can actually help me and know what they're doing instead of me being over. See, I shouldn't be the one with the webcam and the OBS. I shouldn't. I I shouldn't. Okay. Now I really see myself going down in the live stream view, so I should probably get back up because this bit probably isn't as funny as I think it is if I'm completely down on the floor. So I have to get back up. Oh great, this is gonna be fun. Oh my goodness. Okay. We're back up. And our game says it's 12 a.m. soon in my country, so I think I'll exit. In our game, why are you up at 12 a.m.? I can't say that because I was binge watching a TV show and I stayed up for over 24 hours. But anyways, thank you so much for being here, Inner Game. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful time sleeping, hopefully, since it's 12 a.m. Please sleep, Inner Game. Oh my goodness. But thank you so much for checking in. I greatly appreciate it. And your advice with the sewage was an absolute lifesaver. So thank you so much. Okay. So we're having way less flooding. We can hopefully maybe try to replant some of these trees. Who knows? We also like expand our city a little bit. Who I don't exactly know. I kind of got stressed out. The flooding was very much overwhelming me. So I greatly appreciate Inner Game in chat explaining like how to fix it and everything. We do actually have money for once, so we can put down some of the things that we need. Give me a second. I'm gonna sip some water. Okay. It's telling me that we need more residential. So since I do kind of have this neighborhood built out, I am going to continue with that. Oh my goodness. Yes, thank you. It has been, I think this has been a good stream. We've made a lot of progress and I have learned a lot of stuff. Like, you know, the erosion is only because I was a bad planner. That one hurts to hear, but it's the truth, so we gotta say it. You know, sometimes what we're comfortable with hearing isn't what we need to hear. But yeah, Inner Game was such a big lifesaver. I'm not sure if they're still here, but I greatly appreciate all their help, and I hope that they are getting good rest since it is 12 a.m. Oh my goodness. I understand staying up sometimes, but for me, please don't stay up for me. I'm not a person that you should stay awake for. Like, I'm just a stranger over here being like crazy on the internet. So don't yeah. It is telling me about the new buildings, which is great. We are just trying to take care of this residential need. I know that we unlocked the high density residential along with offices. Excuse me, which is really good. So I know possibly in our building back after the flood, we'll put some high district there. High density there. Who knows? I'm still trying to figure it all out and reel back from my mistakes. But hey, if you're watching this and you're interested in City Skylines, it shows you that don't be an idiot. Or think about your building and how increasing the amount of things in the river would probably increase the size of the river. Think about that. Think about that, you know? So, yeah. Okay. So, the flooding is looking so much better. Oh my goodness. This was an absolute lifesaver. So that means some of the things I deleted we could probably like build back. I don't exactly know. Let me look at our pollution tab. And our pollution is like drifting out from this area to be more in here. So that's kind of actually really nice. So it is 6 p.m. I honestly, Intergame was such a lifesaver for us. I know that they've probably left by now, and I greatly enjoyed talking to Julius. You guys are absolutely insane with all your compliments. Like you make me feel so amazing, and it's incredible having this community. So I greatly appreciate all of you watching. I think I am actually going to keep going since this is around the time that we would be like uploading the Lepacy, and I do have more water. I have 2 whole cups of water. Let's go. Oh, and it's actually crazy because in my streaming it says we have 0 dropped frames. Wow. Oh my goodness. Okay. And I also see our industrial need is going up. So let's go back to our with wide sidewalks. And let's possibly go back to the curve we had going on. Right? Because that was kind of cool. I liked that we had that. Then we have to go back to our straight roads. And so this is obviously going up. So I'm going to put on our topography view. And I'm going to put in a little curve like that, right? And then go back to our topography view. And we can like, I don't exactly know because we want to, I'm thinking we move this wind turbine to be somewhere else. Like we could actually possibly put it closer to here. That could be helpful. And we'll have to figure out this with this industrial. I think that's too high on the mountain. I'm gonna be honest. I think that we're already high enough here. So we'll have to go back into our road view. Probably do curve to follow like this. And then we go in here, go back, and we kind of just like have it like that. And then I think we just go straight and we connect these 2 in just a straight road, right? So then I would say here is kind of like probably the weakest place for trees. So I'm trying to just divide in like the weakest places. And then doing like so is probably good. Then we have our foresting that we can put in here and have it all around the trees, right? I think we actually, okay. I'm realizing that I did this dumbly. So I am going to pause. And I am just going to continue our grid. Except for some of like the terrain adjustments that we did. I think that following the grid is probably the ideal way to do it. Just having the structure and then going with this kind of thing. I was honestly just kind of worried about like all the different changes and stuff. So yeah. And then we need to create some grids down, it looks like. So yeah. And hopefully that means we can more like tightly pack it. Right? And then we can have our industrial. Yeah, so following kind of the grid with some oddness, since I did already do the outside first, is kind of the best choice. So now we have this nice mountain that we'll have to figure out how to do something with. So yeah, this setup is kind of crazy, but it works. Yeah. I think we obviously need some more commercial. We're getting that need. So my go-to idea is to de-district all of this, right? And do the high density commercial. You know? Since that is kind of what we want in this area now anyways. Then I did de-district this, I believe. So I would be interested in, I think having 2 rows of commercial is always fun. But I think we should possibly have it align and just have it be industrial. Yeah. But I think that is looking good. It looks good to me. Obviously, our amenities is a big thing that I'm worried about that is not perfect. But we do actually have money for once, so we could go through and think about that. It was kind of stressful because the expansion wasn't exactly like the way that I wanted it to be, right? And we have fires here. Okay. Actually, our firefighters are taking care of it, like, immediately. But that's a good point of we're not really covered in here. So maybe we go ahead and we put down, like, the big fire station in here. Just to, like, take care of it. Right? That could be, like, a very helpful thing. So that means then I might just go here and do that. And we can add other kind of things that are, like, crucial there as needed. Because we don't want the burning. That is not good for us if we have a fire. Just as the road's on fire now. Okay, not great, not great. Very confused. But hopefully things are going okay. Things do look pretty good. We have not enough goods to sell, which it is because of all of our, like, expanding down and everything, which is not great. I'm trying. I don't exactly know how to fix that. See, we need intergame here. There's the solution. I'll have to see if they have recommendations. I think that we are coming along pretty well in our city, though. And we forgot to expand our water over here. Oh no, we're fixing that now. We're fixing that now. Don't worry. I think my voice is possibly wearing out a little bit, which is not great. I don't love that for me. I wasn't able to get this connected because the space already occupied. Weird. Okay. I guess we'll have to do it like this. I guess that works. But yeah. Our city is coming along well. We're having more garbage pile up. Which to me is, we actually finally have the incinerator. So, we have this space here. So I'm going to go and put the incinerator in. And I'm going to empty our, one of our landfills here, along with emptying one of our landfills here, ideally. Right? I'm gonna do the one that has the most in it. And I want to see, can we fit... We can't fit an incinerator in here. We don't have enough money for an incinerator anyways. Okay. The incinerator did seem to greatly fix our problem with that. So yeah, that's awesome. Let's just let it sit for a minute because things, for once, actually appear to be doing well. That is a shock. I feel like that hasn't happened in so long. Just managing emergency after emergency. But things are actually kind of settling, which I appreciate. I appreciate calmness. If I don't have calmness, it's kind of crazy for me. So, yeah. I'm really proud of how our city's going. This is incredible. And this is like the first city that like I fully have built on my own without tutorials. So it's awesome being able to like be here with you guys and having your encouragement and having your advice is absolutely incredible because there have been multiple times, at least in this stream, where I've been like, I can't handle this. I should just restart. No. But the advice in the chat and all your support has been so incredible and helped me keep going, which I really appreciate. You guys are absolutely amazing. So, yeah. Since our residential need has gone up, I am going ahead and building some more of that residential that we need. I'm going to check our water line, which is good. So we can just start districting right away. Or zoning. That is the technical term. I don't know why I'm so set on saying districts. It's probably because like the districts help me with the amenities and stuff. But we just had to ignore that for a minute. Because we were having some very big emergencies. And so actually moving the drainage pipes from in our game's advice was the super helpful thing that kind of like just saved the day. So I am very grateful. Yeah, we desperately need to expand our residential. I didn't district these right. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. So yeah. I think our city is coming along great. This is actually really incredible. I'm really proud of like the progress that we've made. So, yeah. And it is quite frankly all with you guys because I could not be doing this by myself. So, yeah. Okay. We have the water pipe, so that's just because the buildings are getting started that they're not saying anything. And we are just continuing the roads. I don't understand why the residential is probably so high because it's like, hey, put in high district residential. I don't exactly know, like, I feel like this is very much a kind of like low density area because of like how flat the terrain is and everything. Not because of how flat the terrain is, but because of like how everything else was built. It's very much like giving like suburbia America, of just like being so many houses and things. Because I know that that's kind of like how it was for me, of just having like so much in one area of like so much housing. So that was actually high district. That was high density that I put down. Well, let's see how it looks. Maybe I won't hate it. Maybe I won't hate it. Maybe it'll actually be good. Let's give it a chance rather than immediately going to no. But yeah, like these kind of houses is very much like what I grew up around. And I am kind of more, I guess, closer to high density now, I guess, because I'm in a condo. My house is a condo, which I very much love. I love the condo so much. So it is like a little different like that. But yeah. So things with our city are going well, which is great. I am so proud of this. And our facility is empty, which now means we can destroy this structure. Excellent. And put down more incinerators once we have the money. So we can start emptying another facility too. All right. Just have to get the money, and then we can put down, I believe, it looks like 2 will fit, which is awesome. I greatly appreciate that, of just being able to put down more incinerators for our garbage. Or we could possibly do less. This isn't exactly the place where I want them to be. But let's see what the town is saying about garbage piling up. It doesn't say anything about garbage piling up, so maybe we don't need another incinerator. So we'll consider that. We'll consider that. So these high density are like very different than the ones that they build in the Diamond Coast. Like these are they look like more what I would describe as like, I would describe as fancier, but like more historical rather than like going with modern, you know? So that's kind of crazy. This is district. Okay, that's good. Because I was like, why isn't anything being built there? That's strange. I feel like that's a high priority area. And another great point is that we do want to take things out to be farther here. That would be very good. I just feel like we have so many other things to care about. So, yeah. So, we are having some of that garbage piling up, showing up now. So since we do have the money, I will get an incinerator. And we're about to be able to afford another one, so we can get that also, no problem. Doop. It's just going up slowly but surely, which is very cool. Very good also. I appreciate that greatly. And I do see we're having some crime. So we definitely will need to adjust and fix that out. So let's look at our crime actually. We have big crime in certain areas, but it's not like very consistent. Of course, our police stations are all the way up here. I thought this was a low crime symbol at once, at a point. I'm thinking we have the elementary school here, so I'm thinking maybe we put a police station like here. And I also like trying to have the firefighter similar, right? And then we could a great point, since we are just doing that, we could also put down, we can't put down the medical because we can't afford it, unfortunately. But yeah, that should hopefully fix up that. So I think our city is coming along great. We made a lot of progress. We were just under like 4,000 a couple, like when we started the stream, but now we're almost at 10,000. Well, we're at 9,000 right now, but I'm sure if we keep going, it will definitely go up. So yeah, I'm not, let me see if I can see how many people are viewing currently. I don't exactly know. It doesn't exactly give me like super consistent numbers, which can be stressful because I can't, like, I don't exactly want to end if everything is still going on and people are still interested. So that's one of the things that like I kind of worry about. Let me refresh my, because I have it on my end of a computer up so I can see how it's going and see everyone who is here, right? I see that there's 6 viewers, which is awesome. Hi to the 6 of you. I appreciate you watching. I completely understand not like being super vocal in chat. I normally watch live streams as VODs, a video on demand, because I like putting it at double speed, especially because like when I'm talking like this, I know I'm not talking at like my fastest pace and the most entertaining pace. So I'm always worried that I'm going to say which always detracts. So I'm always kind of like worried and stressed about that. So I know that I'm personally not like a big watching live stream person because I just have that tendency to like just prefer to put it on double speed, right? And it says that we're having pile up here and not enough educated workers. So it would be nice to probably get a university. And the university, this high school is already so big. I don't know. I honestly don't know. And I think I want to get up to 10,000 people in our town. And then I think I'm probably going to end the stream. I don't think there's really anything that we have to do right now, as long as we just have to like keep the growth of the city going. Excuse me, possibly pay attention to some of the like concerns that show up. But I think actually having some like space to sit would be really good. I see our population is hovering around plus, it's ranges from the 60s to like 70s, 60s to 80s each day, which is really nice. I appreciate that growth. So yeah, but it does appear like we do need that more commercial, more, again, I'm going back to saying it wrong, more residential. So I'm thinking I'm gonna zone more of the high density, because I know that that will help us, right? And I think that will be good. See, I'm trying to also figure out, I've talked a little bit about this earlier, but like what I'm going to have for dinner. Because I am Eastern time, I feel like I use that terminology a lot. When I remember with my first live stream back in like 2023, 2 years ago now, I was like, I forgot to put on like Eastern specific time, because I am just so used to like Eastern just being my like entire life, you know? Which is like not good. I was talking about how my parents like went on a cruise, and how I was just kind of like couldn't, I was almost positive that they were in a different time zone, but no, they were also at Eastern time. I just completely don't understand that, which is just so strange to me. Like, Eastern time is just like what I consider normal. It's like, no, it's not the case for everyone. So yeah, like Intergame was talking about how it's 12 a.m. there, and it's like very much not Eastern time, very much not Eastern time. So now with these buildings, we're saying that there's not enough electricity. So I know that we have the money for oh, we actually can do an oil power plant. So I don't know exactly where we should put it, but we don't have the ability to do the hydro, which would be super helpful to like put it along. Oh, it's not necessarily because of consumption availability, it's because of connection. Okay, so we just have to wait for more stuff to be built in this area, and then I'll be fine. Or of course I can also go ahead and try to create the lines down of just like, hey, please work out. More stuff is being built, so I think it will mainly just be the like just having it connect. I think it just needs to like have patience, you know? No, patience, they say, is a virtue. It's so interesting to me because everyone like knows the 7 deadly sins, but I didn't realize that there are like 7 heavenly virtues for such a long time. And so like actually learning that was kind of like crazy to me. I was like, oh, okay. Like, it's kind of funny to me because of how much specifically it's because of the idea in Christianity of how there's like, don't sin. And it's crazy that the sinning is actually more popular for them of like what people know. So we can see that we are at small city now, which is absolutely incredible. We have that population of 10,000. So we have cable cars, monorails. We have, oh my goodness, we have so much going on. This is incredible. So yeah, now we have the hydropower plant, which was super important to us. I do greatly appreciate that. And we also have more unique buildings, which we have the oh my gosh, why am I forgetting? We have the winter market, but then the next we have the Chirpax launch site, the Amsterdam Palace. Oh my goodness, it's so cool, all the different things that they have. We also have department stores. Okay, this is so cool looking at like all the different things to unlock. This is awesome. This feels incredible. I think because we unlocked our ideal population, our 10,000, I'm going to go ahead and call it there. I hope that that is okay with you. I greatly appreciate your views. Talking to Julius Washington in Inner Game was such a blast. I appreciate interacting with you guys. I hope everyone watching has a wonderful day. I want to thank you so much for watching. It means so much. A like, a subscribe, a comment means so much. Just watching means so much. So thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye. If I know how to